Hi everyone, my name's Grace, and today I'm going to be talking about the history of one of Homewood's most iconic businesses, Aurelio's Pizza. Now, I'm going to take it way back to August 20th, 1959, when the first Aurelio's opened its doors. Now, hold on to your seats because this was at 2041 Ridge Road, not its current location. This small storefront only had about 4 tables and a really small kitchen that only housed one pizza oven. In 1959, pizza was still a new concept, so Joe would only sell about 6 or 7 pizzas a day. Luckily, his home cooked Italian beef sandwiches kept him going, and I'm sure we're all grateful for that. Joe decided to make some changes to the dough and sauce recipe and then began using fresh, homemade Italian sausage rather than just pre-cooking it. These changes made a huge difference and pizza sales began to grow. Joe persevered, working 7 days a week as cook, waiter, and delivery guy, all while building his reputation for customer loyalty. Day by day, one customer at a time. It wasn't long before Joe's pizzas caught on and he needed to expand. As luck would have it, 2 adjoining storefronts became available. In 1962, Joe decided to rent the storefronts at 2045 Rich Road, which once housed Schreiber's Hardware. The first expanded space housed a new kitchen and bar, which was set up for adults and smaller groups. The other half was geared towards parties and the teenage crowd. This half was equipped with a jukebox, a large picnic table type seating with the iconic red and white checker top, and walls covered in news headlines. Joe was always present, whether in the kitchen making pizzas or simply walking the dining room visiting with customers. But Joe would always make you feel welcome. Everyone felt they personally knew him, and that's where the slogan began. Tell him Joe sent me. Come 1974, Aurelio's Pizza became the first Chicago pizzeria to franchise the concept and became just the fifth pizza franchise company started in the United States. The first expansion was located in Joliet, Illinois. That same year, Joe also opened a corporate store in Scottsdale, Arizona, and later the iconic Aurelio's Pizza Shield was introduced. In 1976, Joe purchased an old barrel-roofed warehouse built in 1927, just 2 blocks away at 18162 Harwood Avenue in Homewood, Illinois. Does the address sound familiar? Joe had it all decorated in rough sawn cedar and Tiffany lights, creating a one-of-a-kind pizzeria and dining experience. The walls and ceiling were covered with vintage stained glass, Chicago artifacts, antiques, and multiple levels of seating. After a year of construction, the flagship restaurant was completed in December 1977. The 16,000 plus square foot South Suburban showpiece, the world's largest pizzeria, opened its doors. Thousands of customers each week came to Aurelio's and created the traditions and memories that have carried over many generations. The 80s were one of Aurelio's most productive decades of franchise expansion, with 10 locations being added in 3 states. The great taste of Aurelio spread around South Suburban Chicago and into Indiana and Minnesota. Restaurants opened in Tinley Park, Richton Park, Palos Heights, Roseville, Chicago Heights, Portage, Valparaiso, Crown Point, and even Crete. The 6-inch Lil Pie was introduced in the 80s to cater to the lunch menu, schools, and sporting events. Joe created the Lil Pie 6-pack carrier, where a customer could buy 5 Lil Sixes and get the 6th free. Another big introduction was Mama Aurelio's Spinach Calabrese, an Aurelio family recipe handed down from generation to generation. Franchise growth continued well into the 1990s, with 11 new locations being added in Illinois, Indiana, and Nevada, the furthest west that Aurelio's had gone. Aurelio's restaurants opened in Bourbonnais, New Lenox, LaPorte, Lowell, Naperville, Naples, and Addison. Joe expanded his pizza lineup, adding several specialty pizzas: the number 25 taco, the number 26 barbecue chicken, 27 tomato, spinach, mushroom, and the number 28 Hawaiian pizza. Finally, rounding out the pizza category, the stuffed pizza was introduced in response to customer demand. The 90s also brought a few new opportunities for Aurelio's to elevate awareness of their own brand first. Aurelio's formed exclusive partnerships with two nationally recognized brands, PepsiCo and Toronto Breads. Second, Aurelio's launched their first website. However, tragedy will soon strike. On December 18, 2001, the founder, Joseph A. Aurelio Jr., passed away after decades of heart trouble. It was now time for Joe's only son, also named Joe, to run the family business. On August 20th, 2009, Aurelio's Pizza celebrated their 50th anniversary in business. To celebrate this milestone, individual celebrations were held at each franchise location and around the chain in 80-day events, culminating in the 1959 pricing night, where all locations sold pizza at the 1959 prices. Now, I don't know about you, but as someone who's grown up in Homewood, Aurelio's was a huge part of my life. From sporting events to my grandfather's birthday, where my family would all gather around in Aurelio's and just eat pizza and talk. Aurelio's has been there. And even though Joe may not be around to see it, I think he'd definitely be proud of what we're doing. So comment below what your personal Aurelio's traditions are. And hey, if you like this, don't forget to check out other videos on the channel. So I'll see you later. And big shout out to the AureliosPizza.com for having a great and informative history section. Most of the information and pictures have come from there.